Welcome back, Raider Nation and my champions. This is Eric from CSN, and we have breaking news that the Raiders have made their final cuts on their way to their 53-man active roster. We're going to go over some of the significant cuts, as well as comparing those to the ones I predicted last night in my live stream. So let's get right to it. First thing I want to talk about is what I call notable cuts. Now, the first one I want to go over is Karl Joseph. He was brought back over here after spending a year with the Cleveland Browns, former first-round pick. There was initial talk that he was going to be here to supplant Jonathan Abram, as Abram was playing too wild. There was even some talk that he was going to play opposite of Jonathan Abram at the free safety position. Not only did that not happen, he didn't even make the team. Roderick Teamer will be backing up Jonathan Abram at the strong safety position. This move is going to cost us about $1 million in cap hit. The next one, you could argue that's even more surprising, is John Brown, aka Smoke. Now, this guy was brought in to replace Nelson Aguilar, basically our speed guy who went to the New England Patriots for about $11 million, and we got him for just under $4 million. And to me, might be the biggest shock of the whole thing. Not only that we're going to lose the speed on the outside, but also the cap hit. It's like I said, it's going to be nearly $4 million on that. Next I want to talk about is Isaiah Johnson. He's kind of one of my favorites. I know I've talked about it before, where he literally won us that game against the Chargers last year. A fourth-round pick in the 2019 draft. To me, he never really got the chance, a deserved chance to make this team. I'm not saying he should have been a starter, but I think he would have been a viable backup to some corners we actually kept, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Very low on the cap hit as far as the cap's like $165,000, so that's not an issue, but I think he's a very solid outside corner, and I'm sure he's going to get picked up by another team. Next thing I want to talk about is what I call the rule of three. We only kept 3 offensive tackles. Number one, Colton Miller, Leatherwood, and of course the great Brandon Parker, the best swing tackle in the league. So I'm worried about that now, even more so that we didn't keep anybody else. I didn't really like the other tackles anyway, so to me it's not a big deal from that aspect. But again, this emphasizes that Miller and Leatherwood got to stay healthy this year. Not only that, we only kept 3 guards: Richie Incognito, Denzel Good, and John Simpson. Again, not a whole lot of depth there. And we released Jimmy Morrissey, so we only kept 2 centers, but that doesn't fit the rule of 3. But the other rule of 3 would be the running back position. So we kept Jacobs and Drake, but we also kept Jalen Richard, who's out indefinitely. And I know some of you talked about that in the live stream last night, and this actually came to pass, which means we actually cut Trey Regis. Regis in Vegas, Trey Vegas. I thought he would have been viable as the number 3 guy. Apparently we're going to keep Jalen Richard, and hopefully he gets back before one of the other 2 running backs gets hurt. Now, the next thing I want to talk about is the actual cut list. This is from the Raiders.com website itself, so it kind of broke down the actual waived players released from their contracts. Not a big surprise. I already talked about the notable cuts, but Nevin Lawson, I have no idea why he is still here. I know he was suspended by the league 1 game for using his helmet last year in a game, the last game of the season. Still, he's had a terrible preseason. I have no idea why we didn't cut him, unless maybe there's salary cap implications that maybe he would cost less against the cap after we cut him after the suspended week. I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. He sucks, and he should not even be on the team, especially with Isaiah Johnson being cut. And of course, I would be remiss without going over what I went through last night and comparing and contrasting who I thought would be cut in my live stream. We'll just go from the top down here. Roderick Teamer was kind of a tweener for me. And actually, Joseph was cut. We already talked about that. Levitt sucks. Goodbye. Lawson should have been cut. No idea what's going on there. Solomon Thomas was a surprise. He made the team. Some of these other ones, not so much. I think we kind of left ourselves a little bit thin as far as depth on the offensive line. We talked about the running back situation. This one here, not only did Ellis and Bushman not make the team, but Derek Carrier did not make the team as well. So we're only rolling with 2 tight ends. And of course, we talked about the wide receivers being the 6 that we keep. We're only going to keep 5 as John Brown was released. So it'll be interesting to see it, one side from the offensive side as far as depth, especially on the offensive line. And 2, like I've said before, this defense in general, because we really haven't seen the starters play much at all this preseason. This video was brought to you by Chucky's Protein Powder, your likes and subscribes. If If you have any comments, put them in the section below. I read every comment, and if I've had enough tequila, I'll probably respond to your comments as well. If you want to catch up to our previous videos or our playlists, they're right here. Thank you for watching and supporting this channel, and as always, go Raiders.